Hello, this is Unknown Void Cat, and welcome back to another Factorio video. Last video, I was playing my Factorio world, and unfortunately that world ended up coming to an end at the end of that video as I got spat on by a big spitter, an insect that I have not actually ever seen before in any playthrough. I've never actually seen it, so I was very surprised when I saw it, and I did not know quite what to expect. So when it spat a giant vat of acid on one of my turrets and destroyed most of his health, I wasn't expecting that when I went to pick up said turret because it was really damaged. I didn't have a repair kit, so I had to replace it. I wasn't expecting that the acid pool would stay around and do a humongous amount of damage when I went to pick up the turret, causing me to die before I could even get out of the acid pool. Though technically part of the reason why I died before getting out of the acid pool was somewhat because of me straight up just not even realizing I was taking damage. Like, I legitimately, I ended up thinking that the little green bar that was going down, I didn't think it was my HP that was going down. I legitimately thought that I was like, oh, is that just the health of my turret going down? Maybe it's like a lingering effect from like the big spitter, spitting on the turret. Maybe that's causing the turret to take lingering damage. I didn't realize that, no, that's me taking damage. And it took me so long to realize that I was already down half my health, meaning that by the time I could realize what was happening and get out, it was already too late and I died. And so because of that, I had to restart. That was the end of that video because my challenge is, I want to beat the game max level insects, and if I ever die, there ain't going to be no respawning. That's going to be like a straight delete of that world, and we're going to have to start from the beginning if I ever die. And so, of course, that means that we're starting from the beginning again. Though hopefully this time will be a little faster because the last world I was playing last video, I was very rusty. I've only ever, not even rusty. Technically, it's even beyond rusty because I haven't really played this game much before. I played it once off video and got to making trains, and that's it. So I'm not very experienced in the game. In fact, I haven't even beaten this game, as I've said before in previous videos. I've never beaten this game on regular settings. So, trying to beat the game with max level insects when I haven't even gotten past trains in a regular playthrough, it's gonna prove a little bit of a challenge. But that's why I'm doing it, because I think it'd be really fun, a fun little challenge to try and beat the game for the very first time, but with max enemy settings, no respawns. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Though to do that, I probably need to get turrets and such a little faster than I did last time, because honestly, one of the things that got me killed by that big spitter, just except for the fact that I literally didn't know what it was, one of the things that killed me besides that was I just didn't have turrets put down fast enough. And what I mean is when I put a turret down to kill that big spitter, I literally placed it right next to the big spitter, and so the big spitter was already shooting the turret before I could even get ammo into it. So by the time I got ammo into it, the turret was already down 50% health, which obviously led to me being oh, I need to pick up the turret then because it's so low health, which led to me walking into the acid pool. Versus if the turret already had ammo, it probably would have killed the spitter before it hit it too much, which probably would have led to me not picking up the turret. Because the whole reason I picked up the turret is because it only had 10% of its health left. If it had 50% of its health left instead, I probably would have just left the turret and went and repaired it later whenever I researched repair packs, which I was going to do pretty soon. But that didn't happen, and I died instead. Technically, also, the other reason why I died is I was quite distracted talking. And by that I mean I was talking about Thanksgiving and the card games, and how I was playing card games during the Thanksgiving. So all of that together led to a very unfortunate disaster. But that ain't happening this time, because this time, this video, I'm gonna be quick. Because last playthrough, I was so slow because I just forgot how much things worked. I forgot, like, how many furnaces to mines you need. I forgot how to properly, link up conveyor belts. Because of that, I was going kind of slow. Oh, I shouldn't have left there. I need to get stone first. But I ain't gonna go that slow today. It ain't gonna take me no hour to make a power drill like it did in my second Factorio video. I'm gonna get this power drill in, let me guess, 20 minutes. I bet you 20 minutes. It'll only take me 20 minutes to make this power drill. Hopefully. It'll look really embarrassing if I say that it takes me another hour again. It's gonna take 20 minutes, at most maybe 20 minutes or 30 minutes. At most 35 minutes is how at most will take. But preferably 20 minutes. Okay, can I make another thing? No, I can't yet. Okay, yeah, so what I need to do is go down here, place down a furnace right about maybe here, and then I need to start smelting ore manually so I can make another burner drill. Oh, I'll also put some coal in. So I gotta quickly get that iron ore making, and I need to get some burner drills down real fast. Plus, the other reason why this video is going to be way faster, this video is going to be way better, is because, like I've said in previous videos, each video is a milestone. Each video is me getting my YouTuber skill leveled up. I'm getting better and better at talking and playing the game at the same time. Because, like, last video I was playing Factorio, one of the problems was that sometimes I would just stop what I'm doing to, like, start talking. I'd get distracted, but, like, I'm getting better at not doing that. I'm getting better at, still doing what I was doing in the game while simultaneously talking at the same time. Like, for example, to show you an example that I'm about to start a completely random story that has nothing to do with the game to show you just how experienced I am at doing two different things at the same time. So, back when I was in school, in the various different schools, elementary, middle school, high school, one weird thing I noticed, I don't know if it was like how it was in your school, but like, have you ever noticed like this weird change in like how the teachers would be in comparison to like the different grades? But what I mean is like I noticed, like in elementary school, a lot of the teachers would be like older teachers, like they'd be 30s, 40s, 50s, maybe 60s. Versus like middle school, pretty similar to that, sometimes older in some cases. But I noticed that like in high school, the teachers were oftentimes a lot younger. Like that was like a random thing I noticed. Like maybe it was just a fluke, but I would often notice that like oftentimes, in elementary school they'd be quite older, versus like high school they'd oftentimes sometimes be like just barely graduated. Like some of them would be like they spent 1 year in kindergarten or whatever, and then they after doing that 1 year they immediately went to immediately went to high school. Like I kind of noticed that like trend. Like I think I had multiple teachers during high school where like they would all have they had like the same story where it's like they went to college, did all the stuff to get a teaching degree. And then after getting that teaching degree, they would teach like 1 or 2 years at like a middle school or elementary school. And then they would hate it. Like they would literally be like, I hated teaching kindergarten, Yeah, like one of them specifically who teach kindergarten, like would talk about like, I hated teaching kindergarten because like you couldn't really teach them because they're so young, there's more babysitting than teaching. And so they'll do that and then they'll immediately move to high school after. So like I've noticed that kind of like that kind of trend when it came to like teachers versus elementary school teachers versus high school teachers. That I've also noticed it's kind of like the opposite with substitutes. Like I feel like when in elementary school I had a lot of like young substitutes in like their 20s. But then in like high school, all my substitutes were like probably like retired teachers. Like they were like a decent amount older. Like for example, like in my high school, we had like these few same old dudes that you'd always see in the high school. They would always be there. It wouldn't be a day without them being there. You'd always see them there. It'd always be these same few dudes. Let me get another burn show I'm making. You'd always see these same few guys, like especially this one of them. Like this one guy, like you would always see him in the school. He'd always just be somewhere in the school, always. Like there would never be a day he wasn't there. I feel like. So like oftentimes, like he just appear. He just like one day he'd be in one part of the school, one day he'd be in the other. He just like teleports out school. It's like he was never not there. He was like essentially a teacher. He was more teacher than substitute. Like he was always there. And so like in high school, it's always these few old substitutes versus elementary school is a lot more young substitutes, which is just like a really random thing I noticed. Not really important, just random. Just a random little fact that I've noticed. It could be different for other people, but like at least not in my school, that's how it was. I think technically it could be inaccurate because actually my memory of elementary school isn't even that detailed, but I just like have this vague memory. Like I'm pretty sure the substitutes were younger than they were in high school, I think, but I could actually be wrong. The reason why I say that is like I straight up don't even know anything about like a lot of the grades in elementary school. Like certain grades I'll remember a decent amount. Like I'll always remember this is gonna sound really bad, but I'll always remember my second grade teacher because she died of cancer. Sounds bad that this is the only thing I remember, but that kind of just like demonstrates my memory of when it comes to like, elementary schools. I'll only remember like huge things happen. I won't remember like the nuance, like the smaller things. Like what was the thing? The only things I remember elementary school, I don't remember my kindergarten teacher. Literally zero clue what their name is, what they were like anything. Like I remember talking to my parents about, like I was asking them about like kindergarten and such. But I've asked them about it before because I have like no memory of it, and they would be like, "Yeah, your kindergarten teacher, she was known throughout the school for being real mean." I'm like, I don't even remember that. Like, I don't remember a single thing about them, like at all. What's time looking? 12 minutes. We still got time to get that 20 minutes. 20-minute power drill going. We still got time. But if I'm gonna do that, I need to get these plates making. But yeah, like they would like talk about like, oh, your kindergarten teacher is known to be mean. I'm like, man, I don't remember that at all because I don't even remember what their name was or even like what they looked like vaguely. Like I literally, they're just like if thinking about who my like kindergarten teacher is just void. Like I literally have zero, not even a hint. Like a lot of my teachers, I might like kind of forget them, but at least like I won't know very much about them, but I'll have like a vague hint of who they were. Like, at least a vague hint. But kindergarten and first grade. Straight up just zero clue who they were at all. Like it's just blanked out of my memory for some reason. Like it's only like specific grades in elementary school that I remember. Second grade because the teacher died, which is like a sad thing, but it made it like it just like left as like it just made it like a lot more like something I'd remember because of that. And then I'll also remember 5th grade and 4th grade. I remember my 5th grade and 4th grade teacher because it was like my favorite teacher. Because I think we actually had her twice in a row because she loved our class so much that she actually like we had her for 4th grade. She loved our 4th grade class so much that she became a 5th grade teacher just so like she could teach our class again. And so that's one of the reasons why I remember that. Also, I should probably get this power making, shouldn't I? What does this require? Iron plate still. I need to get this done. Okay, so 1 steam engine, 1 boiler, 1 offshore pump. Oh, I also need... I shouldn't do that yet. I still need copper stuff first so I can make these electric poles. Whoops. But yeah, I'll always remember my 4th and 5th grade teacher because they were like very notable due to the fact that like I had her way more because I had her for 2 separate grades. So 3rd grade teacher, the only thing I remember was that she told a random story about a bear eating Pop-Tarts. I don't remember what it was about. Well, actually, I remember something about like her son had like a bear break into his trash can and eat Pop-Tarts. But that's literally all I remember about her. But like I think so that's the thing about elementary school, I barely remember. I think once it gets into middle school though, it's a bit more memorable. Like I can remember decently a lot of my middle school teachers. So that's also just like middle school was like middle school was where things were a little bit more crazy for me. By that I mean like elementary school and middle school is like substantially different. And by that I mean like, elementary school, you just exist. I mean, middle school, you also do kind of just exist in comparison to high school. But like when you go from elementary school where the teacher is literally just like, where there literally is zero chance of failing an assignment, versus like middle school when you're having multiple classes, it kind of steps it up slightly. Not much in comparison to high school, but foresight, like not for. What's the word? Yeah, like looking back on it, like middle school was actually like easy in comparison to high school. But like when I first entered middle school, it was like a crazy jump. It was a crazy jump compared to elementary school when I first went to middle school. Like I remember, like I would like in elementary school, I essentially got A's in every single class easily, like not even thinking. It was essentially just a guaranteed. But then like the minute I went to middle school, like I started messing up in classes, dude, is the thing. And like, but specifically, like I would like mess up in classes because like elementary school just didn't really teach me like organization, dude, is the thing. Like I feel like elementary school, it never taught me like truly how to organize and like why you gotta be organized. And so what it kind of led to happening is like I literally missed lost an entire project. Like I think one of the reasons why I got like a 70-60-ish for like a while in like my sixth grade English class is because we had like a project where we had to do like these like big bundle of assignment. Like the project was essentially this big bundle of assignments that were assigned to you when we started reading this book in class. And throughout the entire time they were reading the book, throughout like the however many weeks it took us to read that book, you were supposed to like periodically be doing these assignments in this like booklet, and then you'll turn in the various assignments at the end. The problem is I never did the assignments properly because I just straight up lost them. I don't know what happened to them. They just poofed. And they poofed one day. They just went bye-bye because I just completely lost them. I literally don't know where they went. They literally disappeared in the void in my backpack. Like I think like I only got like a few of them left. Like I think I literally like tried to go in my backpack to look for them, and all I got was they crumbled up. Like a few of them like crumbled up in little piles. And so obviously that led to me getting a lot of zeros for that project, which tanked my English grade for that class. And then there was also kind of the same thing for like social studies, like history. Not the exact same because it was less like organization and just straight up like forgetting. Like I think in my history class we had like a big project where we had to like make this like artifact from like a historical civilization that was assigned to you. And I just pushed it off so much that like I just never did it until like the day it was due. And then like so the day came that was due, and like they're like, okay guys, turn in your projects, and I just didn't have mine. And so I just never ended up doing it because I was so embarrassed that I didn't do it on the day that was due, that I never did it like late. Because she gave people time to like, okay, turn it in 1-2 days late, you lose some points. But I ended up like never doing it late. Because like I was just so embarrassed that I never did it on time, that I was just like, I'm just gonna forget it existed, dude. I don't even want to think about it. I don't even think about the fact that this exists, dude. It's embarrassing. And so I just never did it. Which obviously was a really big problem because this was a big project, so it literally tanked my grade in that class down to like a 60-70. In fact, like it was such a big like it was such a big tank to your grade that like weeks, even though it was literally weeks late, she still like essentially she went and found everybody in the class who didn't ever do it. It was like, nope, you guys have to do it. It's just too big. It's literally too big of a minus in your grades for you not to do it. So she literally was like, nope, all you guys gotta come to like this separate table during lunch, and I'm gonna sit here and make sure you do it right now. Which was, oh god, it was embarrassing, dude. That kind of teach me like that thing teach me like, nope, you gotta do projects, dude, because I don't want to go through that again. That was so embarrassing. Just like having like having the teacher essentially like force you to another table during lunch and be like, you better do this project right now. It was so embarrassing, especially considering the fact that like, previously in like the years before in elementary school, like I was always getting stuff done on time. So like having that like difference in middle school was like a crazy change. Why am I I need to get coal. I'm gonna get some coal while this lab is building. So that's kind of like middle school was like a drastic change in comparison to elementary school. For me at least. Especially like going to different classes, which after like a day or two of going to like various different classes, it wasn't that crazy deal. But like the first day, it was like a kind of a big deal that instead of being like one or two classes, because I think the way my elementary school worked is like you had like one teacher, one class. You had like one class that would do all, the core stuff, and then you had like, and then every day you'd go to one other class that did, like extracurricular or like arts and the likes. So you'd only really be going to like two classes at most during elementary school. And even when you went to the other class, literally like the teacher of your main class, your main, where you learn the core stuff, she would take you to that extracurricular class. So like having to like go for like the very first time, go to like four or five, maybe six different classes on your own during like middle school was like a jump. And so it actually, embarrassingly, one of the things that led to happening was like I actually ended up getting like lost, and I went to the wrong class. And like to tell the story, it's kind of an embarrassing story, to be honest. What essentially happened is I was going down to my first class. Like we got a little like we got a little like schedule that's telling you like this is your your first class, second class, whatever. And so like I knew what my classes were, but what ended up like I knew it was like, what was it? It's been like it's been a decent amount of years, so I don't remember exactly. I'm pretty sure it was like chorus or something. It was like singing. Was my first class of the day. But the problem is, like, what ended up happening is that there was this teacher for, I think, like, a keyboarding class or something, who she was, like, staying in the hallways, like, come on, guys, come in, like, come into my classroom. And for some reason, I don't know why, but, like, I got confused with her saying that. I thought, like, she was meaning, like, everybody come in, like, no matter what class you're in. I didn't realize that she was, like, everybody in my class, if you're in keyboarding, come into my class. Because she wasn't saying, like, hey guys, hey, all keyboarding students come to class. You're just saying, come on everybody, come in to the class. And for some reason, my like stupid like 6th grader brain was like, oh, she's saying everybody needs to come in here. Maybe it's like a kind of like announcement, kind of like, like go to the gymnasium kind of announcement thing. Maybe that's why she's calling everybody. When in reality, it was not that, dude. She was just telling people in her class, like, hey, come into the classroom. And so it kind of led to this really embarrassing moment where I was like sitting down there in her class while she's like doing an announcement, and like I was like sitting down to this person like I knew somewhat, who was like in my elementary like class, like my 5th grade class in elementary school the year before. And so like I was sitting down, and he's like, "Hey, you're in this class too, cool." It's like somebody I know from like from my elementary school. And then after she started doing like roll calls, like, oh no, I'm not supposed to be here. This is so embarrassing, dude. Like I was just like, I was literally just talking to this guy, how he's like, oh, it's so good that like I have somebody else from my class I know. And now it's like I gotta get up, go to the teacher, and be like, sorry, I'm not supposed to be here, wrong class. And of course, like I couldn't, because it was like first like 6th grade, they're not just gonna they're gonna ask you like what class you belong to. They're not gonna be like, oh yeah, oh you're in the wrong class, okay, whoops, go ahead and go on. No, they're gonna be like, oh, what do you mean you're in the wrong class? Like, let me look at your schedule. And so so it kind of like dragged on the moment when really what I wanted to do was just, I wanted to get out there as fast as I can, dude. I just wanted to like, zoom out, because I was like, oh no, dude, this ain't where I'm supposed to be. Like, at least it wasn't embarrassed. It wasn't really as embarrassing when I actually went to the proper class I was supposed to be in, because like, they didn't know I went to the wrong class. They probably just assumed like I was late or something. But it was embarrassing when I was leaving that class that I went to, when I went to the wrong class and I was leaving it, and like being like, oh, whoopsie, I went to the wrong classroom. And I couldn't even say why I went to the wrong classroom, dude. Because like, man, it was just embarrassing. The fact that I got it confused and thought she was telling everybody to come into the classroom, that was not good, dude. But you know, that was kind of middle school. Like, middle school could be described in a few, if I were to describe middle school in a few sentences, it would be a learning experience, and why organization is the life lessons I would say I learned from middle school is: 1, learn how to organize, dude. Start taking folders, because back in middle school, you know, I never had any folders, and that killed me. And the second thing I learned in middle school is, man, middle schoolers are stupid, dude. Like, even as a middle schooler, I was just like looking at my fellow middle schoolers, and I was like, man, these people are stupid. Like, I think like the thing that really was like kind of stupid was like, oftentimes, like, I remember back in like when in PE during middle school, you'd always have like the boys in the class. They'd always just be like calling each other gay. Just calling each other gay the entire class. They'd be like, you're so gay. The entire class. That'd be legitimately every single PE day. And I just couldn't understand it, dude. I was too ahead of my time, dude. I was too ahead of my time realizing it was slightly homophobic, dude. I couldn't fit in. It just stood out as really weird to me, and really, like, it just made no sense. It just felt like immature. I was like, why would you even do that? And this was before I even like, back then in middle school, I didn't even really know that much like about really what gay people were. Like, obviously I could understand, like, okay, gay people are, you know, like, guy who likes a guy, but like, I didn't know much of anything past that. Like, I didn't really understand anything else. I just knew like that very basic thing. I never seen a gay person. I just knew that. And so even with that limited knowledge, though, it was still cringe, dude. It was still so cringe when you'd always have the boys in like PE always be saying like, you're so gay, every single day. But I think also the reason why it's cringe was also just because I never fit in the first place. Because like, man, the other thing that was always kind of like strange, that I never understood back in middle school, was the sexual jokes that were so prevalent, dude. And what I mean by that is, like, if you, God forbid, it was a hot dog day in a middle school, dude. If they were serving hot dogs today, you know there's some kid at the table just putting that whole hot dog down their throat, thinking it's the funniest thing in the world, dude. And even back then in middle school, because I was definitely a lot more immature in middle school. Even with me being a lot more immature in middle school, not that I'm mature now, even past middle school and high school, even after graduating high school, I wouldn't say that I'm like the most mature person in the world. But even back then in middle school, I thought they're being a little stupid. To put it less nicely, or put it nicely, they're being a little immature to do that. But that would be middle school. That would essentially be the description of my entire middle school year, is constantly having people call each other gay, and constantly messing up in classes because I didn't have any organization skills, so I lost assignments. Well, technically it wasn't a problem like 7th to 8th grade. It was mostly a 6th grade problem, if we're being completely honest. Though high school is a little different for why I mess up in science. Like, so while in middle school, the reason why I mess up assignments had nothing really to do with difficulty or anything, or my will to do the assignments. It was mostly just I was really bad at organizing it. I'd literally lose track of what assignments are being due and, where the assignments are. In high school, straight up, I started, I lost my ability, dude. I went from being, a gifted student. I was never in a gifted program because I just never went. I think I've been invited, but I just never went. But I was, considered. And so I went from that to, bro, in high school, math killed me. Math killed me in high school, dude. To talk about math, dude, math was not my thing in high school. I would dread going to math class because I knew if there was a test that day, I'd be getting 60s, dude. The only reason I, didn't get, a D in my math classes is because, the homework assignments and, worksheets would actually, bring me up, because the worksheets, the teacher would just give you 100. As long as you actually did it, then you would essentially guarantee you get 100, because either A, the teacher just gives you 100 no matter whether your answers are wrong or not, or even if they do grade accuracy, usually what they would do is they'd go over the worksheet in class, so even if you weren't exactly the most accurate, you could literally just change your answer to what the teacher said. But the problem is, that ain't working for test. And so I would oftentimes, I would be getting hundreds on worksheets, but I'd get 60s on the test, which would very drastically bring down my grades, which was the reason why, if you look at the grades in my various classes, I'd be an A in every single class, and then you look at my math class and it's a C, huh? That's quite a drop compared to the other classes. What time is it? Oh, it's been 30 minutes. I've not made this power drill yet. I'm about to break my promise, dude. I said I was gonna make this electric drill before at most 35 minutes. There's only 3 minutes left. I'm gonna have to rush, dude. I only have 3 minutes left to make this electric drill before it's literally taking me over 35 minutes to make it. I at least gotta be able to make this electric drill before 35 minutes pass or something. So let's quickly make it. I mean, we're probably gonna be able to get it. We're very close. And there's still 2 minutes left. That should be enough time for this to research. It ain't that slow at building stuff. Let's go ahead and start canceling this. Do we have enough? We should, right? Yep. It's just 2 more. Just 2 more. So to prepare for that, I should probably go ahead and start getting the stuff needed to make power drills. Which is... what is it again? I don't remember. I'm going to check after. Only 1 more minute. We got 1 more minute left to make this power drill. Research. And... success. Boom. Get rid of this. I said get rid of this. And a power drill. Well, I did it. I technically made a power drill before the 35-minute mark, like I said. Well, technically I said I'm making it 20 minutes, but I did also say at most it'll take me 35 minutes at most. And I mean, I technically did make it in before 35 minutes. Though technically it's only 1 minute away from that. It's literally 34 minutes right now. But I did succeed. And well, this is going to be the end of this video. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. And next video, I'm going to start actually placing down these power drills and actually increasing my mines. Bye.